Time is a time for beaches, baseball, ice cream, and too often getting ripped off. All kinds of consumer rip-offs happen in summer when people let their guard down, and when that happens, one organization fights back. Of course, the Better Business Bureau. Please welcome Howard Schwartz. Glad to have you back from the BBB.
Pleasure's mine. And by the way, I'll take the ice cream any day.
All right. Well, okay, I'm buying. Now, what kind of rip-offs are we talking about? I never really thought about there being specific or kind of endemic to summertime that we have certain kinds of rip-offs happening.
Well, this is the time of year when we want to fix up the yard, fix up the house. We're talking home improvement contractors, landscapers, yard cleanup, heating and air conditioning contractors, asphalt pavers, magazine sellers, and students who come around and other people trying to sell burglar alarms. Now, this does not mean everyone who knocks at your front door is a criminal, but Better Business Bureaus across the country and law enforcement officials receive thousands, many thousands of complaints every year between this time of year and the fall.
Now, you probably can't cover all of the ways that these people work, but what are some examples of how these rip-off artists do their thing?
Well, let's give an example. You have the outright criminals who do nothing. They'll take your money, they might do something and then disappear. They're the ones who take your money and do not return at all. You have illegal out-of-state operators who might not be qualified as well as not be registered here. They might not be insured, and there's certainly the kind of work that they're doing, if it's structural or electrical, is iffy. You have home alarm system vendors. This has been going on for several years, and the problem there is they don't disclose all the terms of the contract, such as what it'll cost you for the alarm system monitoring or for cancellation.
Right.
The magazine sellers, the student knocks on your door, he or she is putting themselves through college. What they don't know is that they probably are working for some fellow sitting in a van around the corner who's simply collecting credit cards, and the students aren't aware that they're being duped. And the asphalt, the pavers show up, and this is really a big one. They say that they have some materials left over from work down the road or elsewhere in the neighborhood. They'll offer you a great price, and unfortunately you end up with things sprouting out of your driveway if they do complete the work. They usually use substandard materials, and the work isn't very good.
Huh. Okay, so now this begs the question, of course, how do you know who's legit?
Well, the most important thing that we would say is don't do business at your front door. And if somebody does knock on the front door, get some information from them and beware of somebody who gives you a good for now deal only, high pressure. You should really be checking for identification, certification, and credentials. Legitimate sellers and contractors will give you the time to research. And if you want to find out if somebody is licensed, you can go through the Department of Consumer Protection website. Watch out for those high sales pressure tactics, people who pressure you to sign right away to get a good price. Don't make your decision purchasing at the front door. You want to look into the seller's reputation and get at least 3 bids. Not only will it give you the best price, but it'll also give you an idea of what work has to be done and how it should be done. And remember your rights. Under the Federal Trade Commission's cooling off rule, you have 3 days to cancel a purchase over $25 that was made at your home or anywhere other than the person's principal place of business. And I think it's remember that just because they have a fancy business card or a good-looking website or a number on the side of their truck does not mean that they're legitimate. So do your research, and you can save a lot of money that way.
Okay, and of course the Better Business Bureau is a good resource for finding out about businesses. But I have a question for you. Does the Better Business Bureau, does a business have to be registered with the BBB in order for you guys to have information on them?
No, it doesn't. We have obviously information on Better Business Bureau accredited businesses, but also if a consumer files a complaint that is found to be genuine, we will have information on that business as well. And it doesn't mean they're all bad. There's some who have some very high marks, but not everybody is obliged to provide the information.
And real quickly, of course, so after the fact, if you've been hit in some dishonest way, report it to the BBB, and what else can you do?
You would call your local police, because sometimes these operators pick up, they go from one town to the next close-up shop, and they leave behind a trail of very unhappy consumers.
Gotcha. Howard Schwartz, fantastic to see you again.
Same here, Jeff.
Always a pleasure. And of course, we will have this segment up on our website, WTNH.com, in case you'd like to review it. That'll be up very shortly, a little bit later on today. All right, coming up, we have a story about a man who, we've been talking about people who take, how about a guy who gives, opens his heart and his wallet to help those without. It's 7:48. We're right back.